What is going on, guys? I have had this Hustler Raptor 42 inch for a couple of years. It's been a great mower. I actually did a video on how to install that bagger kit, but I've had one complaint ever since I got it, and that is the seat position. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I am 6'2". The way this seat is, there's just not much room. I don't have anywhere to put my feet. I would like them to be able to extend out a little more. I would also like to set a little bit higher to get just a little better angle positioning on this. Also, when I go forward, this kind of wants to hit my legs. So my thought is to raise this seat up a little bit and back. So the seat on this is flipped straight up. There are 4 bolts that hold the seat to the actual bracket. My thought is I'm going to build a spacer to go between this plate and the seat itself. With that, I'm going to raise it 2 inches, but I also want to see if I can bring it back just a little bit as well. Now, as you can see, I don't have much room here, but I could get away with moving that back maybe 1 inch or 1.5 inches. Now the thought is, I've got some 2-inch square tubing to be able to bolt the seat to this and then bolt this to that plate. That'll do is once again give me that 2 inches higher seating position, but I'll also be able to position where I want my seat bolted onto this so I can move it back slightly. First thing I'm going to do is figure out how long I need this to be, and then I'm going to cut this down to length. I've got 2 of these. I'll cut down to the exact same length. I just need to get the bolts to hold this seat off first so we can start getting some measurements. Now I'm just laying my bar out, see how long I need to cut it. And then before I do any cutting, I want to make sure the idea I have is actually going to work. So I've got my bars here, got my seat set on it. I've got it positioned back as far as I can, kind of where I think I want it. I've still got clearance here. Now we just need to set in it, see how we like it. So I think that's much better, more comfortable position. These clear my legs without a problem now. Gives me a little more room to stretch out. I think that's going to work pretty good. So I've taken some measurements off my seat. I got these cut and ground down, and then I have marked the places I need to drill my holes to mount it to my seat. I'll get this bolted to the seat, and then we'll worry about bolting it to the plate on the mower. So we've got our holes drilled here. Those line up with the holes on the seat. Problem being, on a square tube, how are we going to get that in there? So what I've done is just put bigger holes on the back side so we can drop that bolt down through and get a socket in to be able to tighten it onto the seat. Okay, I've taken that plate off, positioned it here on my bars I have bolted to the seat. Make sure everything is square. Then I've just come in here and made marks in the center. Now this has some adjustment, so I'm going to go right in the center. So if I need to slide forward or backwards at all, I've got a little adjustment there still. That plate was just held on by these 2 14mm bolts. Those are what it hinges up and down on. Okay, we got our next holes drilled. So as you can see, our bolts holding the bars to the seats. Now we have holes to mount the plate. Now there's a couple options here. Thought about tacking a nut on the inside of these tubes, so then your bolt would just thread down into it. That sounds like a lot more work, especially now that I have the plate off of here. I think I'm just going to see if I can get in here and hold a nut on the inside of that tube and get it started get my plate bolted on. All bolted together. Now let's go test fit it. I think that will work out perfect. Couple of pieces of square tubing, some drill bits, do some measuring, drill your holes. Not that big of a deal. Pretty inexpensive project. It's going to make this mower way more comfortable for me to use. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. See you guys next time.